it's sort of interesting when we'll get onto the pre-story, I guess, because let's talk. This is ostensibly a run-up into the Edinburgh Fringe, where you are going to be doing your show, which is called My 7 Years as Lionel Richie.
Yes.
Tell where are you on? Let's get all that information out into.
I'm at the Caves 6:40 at the Caves at the Edinburgh Festival. Do come along.
So, throughout the whole run.
Throughout the whole run.
Cool. And so, because my first memory of you, apart from being flecked with bits of spaghetti bolognese in the distance, was the Edinburgh being sort of full of this poster belongs to Lionel Richie and this whole Lionel Richie thing. So tell us about that. I presume this is what the show is about.
Yeah. It's what was your thought around it at the time? Because for anyone that doesn't know, basically what happened is that I'm always doing stupid things and like committing to a ridiculous idea. And there was I made these stickers at one point that just said this belongs to Lionel Richie, and I just give them to friends and I would stick them on things. So you'd be walking down the street and you'd just see a lamppost that says this belongs to Lionel Richie with no context whatsoever or anything like that, as if Lionel Richie had just come up to someone and go, oh, can I buy that lamppost? Yeah, and then sticker, that's mine now, and then moving on. He has got a lift, and they were just stuck everywhere. So it's a fun little thing to put around. So it really amused me, and because I was making these stickers and just giving to people, like it really took off. Like, and people were like, a friend of mine was at a festival, got hit on the back of the head with a frisbee, and it belonged to Lionel Richie. Like, so a friend of mine went to one of these charity things in Peru, and there's a backpack that belonged to Lionel Richie. It's like, how's it getting there, right? And so it was a took off. It was a thing. People really enjoyed the mischievous nonsense of it. And then because of that, I thought of, when you do Edinburgh, like I'd done so many Edinburghs, and the audience were like 5 people, and on average audience of 5 people. So I'm always looking for things to make, bring attention. Then I thought, maybe I could use the stickers. So yeah, that's how it came. And then just putting stickers everywhere. I went 2 in. So I changed my name by deed poll to Lionel Richie. That's a fact. Okay, everyone's like, yeah, no, I did. So for 7 years, I flew as Lionel Richie. I banked as Lionel Richie. Katerina Vrana never dated Barry Ferns. Right. My girlfriend only dated Lionel Richie. There's a blue plaque, right? So with my craft design skills, I made a blue plaque that said, "This house belongs to Lionel Richie" in Edinburgh. And I, in the middle of the night, with a high-vis jacket and a ladder and some No More Nails, put it on a wall in just opposite the City Cafe in Edinburgh, right? And just left it, and then left it. And that Edinburgh, nobody noticed. Absolutely nobody noticed. But now people notice, and every so often I get a little Google alert saying, "Is Lionel Richie owns property in Edinburgh?" And it's still up today. So, which is the best advert for No More Nails. I can absolutely, 15 years later, it's just outside the Monkey Barrel comedy venue, which is kind of like, and it's up there. So that year, everything belonged to Lionel Richie, and it was, Yeah, well,
I did a few things with the Hitler Moustache show. I kind of gave away Hitler Moustaches at the end of the show that everyone then stuck on everyone else's posters. Yes. Which is annoying as hell, but quite a good way of advertising your show.
Yeah.
So I'm all for that. I tried to do it with Lord of the Dance Set. It didn't really work. I tried to get stickers of me to stick on everyone else's posters of me dancing, but they came out, they were too small.
Oh, come on. No. I might still do that.
Yeah. You can do that.
I prefer nothing.
So I think those things are good. When anything that rises above the level, and even if it's annoying, which I think a lot of people were annoyed by my stuff, and I'm sure they were by your stuff.
I got an email when I came to Edinburgh this year. I genuinely got an email into my email inbox that says, "Hello Barry, you cunt." That's how it opened. I saw that you were bringing your cunty show to Edinburgh this year, and there were a load of stickers around Edinburgh still from when you did it before. Yeah. Don't do it. And it was from the title was from disgruntled Edinburgh resident.
Wow.
Obviously.
Yeah, but I like that. But, if if the volcano in Edinburgh ever erupts again. Yeah. And it becomes a Pompeii, then the people will think, Lionel Richie was more important than he was.
He's very important.
No, he is, but they'll think.
But only to my individual life story. Yeah. The other ideas I've had for Edinburgh shows, just purely on stupid. About 10 years ago, I was very close to calling an Edinburgh show cancelled. Right. But purely because I thought it would be very funny / attention grabbing just to get stickers that say cancelled and put it over all the other posters. Right? Until a friend of mine actually had to stop me doing that because he said, "You will get beaten up.
Yeah.
By for the Lionel Richie show, we almost got beaten up by one of the people that owned a venue that I'm not going to name because I'd love to play their venue at some point, right? But they arrived at the show and sat on the front of the show. It was like, oh, that's so and so from that venue, isn't it? With 3 massive guys. It's like, and we were like, is he really here for that? And so we went up and asked, and said, yeah, the stickers are being stuck around our venue. So, all right, well, do you want to see the show, or are you just here to threaten us? Yeah, we don't want to see the show. Oh, okay, right. And then we went to see them, and and then they just tore strips of us for about 50 minutes, saying there were stickers everywhere. And we weren't sticking them; other people were. Yeah. But we were giving out the stickers.
Yeah. I mean, I sort of got away, but you can understand people are spending thousands of pounds on publicity, but then fuck them.
Yeah. That's always been my policy.
That's what So I mean, this.
But fuck myself at the same time. I'm fucking everyone. I don't care.
But I think what's interesting about your Edinburgh story. I mean, you talk about going bankrupt, but it's because of Edinburgh, right? That you
yeah.
Which I think is a story that I'm surprised doesn't happen more often. But it's partly because Edinburgh's become a preserve of people whose mum and dad can pay for pay for their debts. Which obviously wasn't the case for you.
Yeah.
And you became sort of homeless and bankrupt as a result of spending too much in Edinburgh. And
because I'm absolutely stupid and impractical in every single way. Like I just didn't think to not do it. Like there was always another credit card company who goes, yeah, we'll lend you $5,000. And I just thought, because the shows were good, I just thought that if you were good, it would end up working out all right.
Yeah.
And that's not like that. All right, it's not really a laugh line, but there's, but it does. Like, I'm really impractical, as you could tell. But so the show itself, year after year. So I started in '99, and every single show I look back, I'm like, why did we do that? Like, genuinely, in 2001, I did a double act show, and our ethos was to try and make the show as impenetrably confusing as possible. So it was me and Chris Head. There's 2 of us. It was a double act, and we were like, "What's the worst name we could come up with?" So we called ourselves Doreen. That was it, right? And half the audience that came along were older women expecting somebody called Doreen. The flyers, we decided to make the flyers as terrible as possible, and it was just a piece of A5 with a felt tip pen that wrote, "Look how crap Doreen's flyers are," with no information about the show, and we were giving those out. We absolutely kept to it, and at the end of the show, we'd always apologise to the audience as they left. For being pathetic human beings. And the tech guy, who was a plant, would force us to stand in the Pleasance Courtyard, and we did this every single day with placards that said, "I am sorry." And we'd go to the Pleasance Courtyard every day and just with this A-board sandwich board and stand there.
Yes.
And we thought that was funny. But everyone just must have thought, who the fuck are these people?
But that's what the Fringe
that's what it's for,
That is what the Fringe is about. And but the problem is, it's full of idiots.
Yes.
So it's hard to
but
stand
professional
out with
idiots. What's a comedian? What do you want from your comedians to fall over and over again?
The show I did in Edinburgh, which was a sketch show we did at lunchtime for 1 week, which was the 7 Rames. It's called. It's me and Stuart and a few other people, Emma Kennedy. We did a poster for it, and we weren't very happy with it. So then we decided to come up with with a leaflet that said, "Do not go to see the 7 Raymonds," and then we got Mike Cosgrave, who was in it. We put him in a cage and wheeled him around the Royal Mile and said he was on hunger strike until this show had been banned. And he was sort of eating Mars bars and crisps, and we weren't looking behind us. But we were giving out these leaflets saying, "Do not go to see the 7 Raymonds," and it worked because no one did come and see us. It was a big victory for the anti-comedy league or whatever we were calling ourselves. But yeah, I mean,
the anti-comedy league. But that's what the Fringe used to be about. The Fringe used to be, you go up and you try and do funny things that made no sense whatsoever. So, and then the problem is, the time that I was doing the Fringe, it's when all the prices went up and a lot of money came in, and the venues were trying to make money. But before that, it wasn't as expensive. You used to be able to go up, kind of sell tickets because it wasn't quite as busy, and and the accommodation you could almost get. I think you could get DSS kind of support for actually going up, and they'd pay you rent for the month. month, rather than paying 2 rents, which everyone does, and that's like £2,000 for a room in Edinburgh, and then you've got to pay your rent in London as well. Whereas like, or anything between 1,000 and 2,000, but it's super expensive. And so you've got to just, you've been priced out, even with the free Fringe, of everything. But at that time, there wasn't even the free Fringe. So it just so happens I was in the sweet spot for debt. And obviously that sweet spot is back big time. Post-pandemic, it's just like, no, we can do that better. But it felt very much, and people were like, why are you doing it? But it felt very much like there was no other way to do the job, because at Edinburgh you're actually there, you're performing in front of everyone for a month. There's nowhere else where you can perform in a venue and be a comedian and show people that you can do it. You couldn't really do it. Like, we had the Man and Moon Theatre as one of our first venues in London, and you could only really afford to do 1 or 2 nights there, so you didn't get a chance to really work it. So it was the one place. It was a proving ground, but it used to be a laugh, as in, you know, you could experiment. Like, you know, all the Edinburgh stories about the students that had no place to stay in Edinburgh. Have you heard that story? No. Of like, Earl Oaken told me it, and they weren't allowed to sleep in their venue. Like, well, we'll sleep in our venue, and Edinburgh Council went, no, you can't sleep in that. It's not right. So they figured out that what they would do is they were going to do their own show, which they did, the Shakespeare, but at night they were going to run another show called Students Sleeping that was going to run from 10 at night until 9 in the morning, and then they made money from sleeping. So people would buy tickets, watch the students sleeping, and then piss off. Like, but it was for, like, you know, kind of creative ways of playing around with that. Like, you know, one year I won the Malcolm Hardy Award for faking a load of reviews, like just making a load of reviews of fake shows, and also gave myself 6 stars, but just kind of like showing it around to the point where everyone just believed it was true, even though there were some nonsense things. But it's about being fun and creative and just taking risks.